All right, hey everybody. Welcome once again to the Clover Street Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Kepix, and with me today, oh boy, what a treat. Your eyes are not deceiving you. You're looking at an actual demon from hell. Is that correct?
Well, yes, I kind of leave it very vague because, as you can see, I haven't even earned my horns yet, so I'm not that evil. But, yes, I do come from, down under.
What do you have to do to earn your horns?
Evil stuff. Just like, an angel has to earn their halos and their wings to go up. And, demons actually have to earn their horns. But, I can't even go across the street if it's a red light. And, I tried jaywalking once and it didn't work out too well. Jay kind of ran away from me.
Everything that you've done in this community has been good. You're going to accidentally sprout wings if you don't watch it.
Well, hopefully they're really cool-looking wings. I wouldn't mind that.
Maybe a big, black, scaly reptilian type.
Right.
Yeah.
I'd be okay with that. Then I could just fly everywhere instead of walking. That would be so much fun, actually.
It's funny. When I think of you as a demon, and I think of all the movies that I've ever seen, I think that you would fit in perfectly. Have you ever seen the movie Little Nicky?
Yes.
That's the hell that I see you being in and causing havoc.
I would like that
in a joyful way.
And the truth is that I used to come out just once a year, and as everybody knows, I love to talk, and I talk so much that the devil himself, Lucifer, always sits there, and I talk to him, and he's like, you know what, Laitram, just get away from me, go up, see the earthlings up there, just get away, go. You don't have to even come back. And then we started up Haunted Screams, and I was like, yay, look, I'm here all the time now. Yay, fun for me.
Yes, Haunted Screams. Now, if I've done my research and homework correctly, Haunted Screams started out originally in '93?
Yes, it actually did.
Boy, I was but a wee lad back then. Were you involved with it from the beginning?
I was. So basically what it was, there was a martial arts studio, and they transformed their studio into a haunted house. And people got to go through there, and it was just donations, and they would donate the money toward different charities. They gave money to the Seton Youth Shelter, they gave it to the Lighthouse, just to help out the community.
And what city was this in?
This was in Virginia Beach, and they ended up closing down in 2018.
Okay. And you fired it up again the very next year.
Yes, we decided that, people were very sad that Haunted Screams went away. And so by people talking to me online and asking, what's going to happen with Haunted Screams, we decided to take it to the next level and make it into a full-blown expo.
Yeah, that's really neat. Now, I see you at other expos often.
I do. I love to go out. I love to go, and I found my community. I found different people enjoy seeing me out and about, and they don't freak out. Like, for instance, if I actually were to go right now outside in Hampton, downtown Hampton, and just start waving at cars, I would cause an accident, and people would get mad, and, I'm sure Lucifer would be very happy about that. But, if I go to different conventions, I think that it works out so much better because people are like, hey, it's Laitram, and then they give me hugs and high fives, and I just fit in there.
I think that you would probably not cause as much of a commotion as long as you have some sort of entourage with you. If you're just by yourself, people are really going to think you're like...
This is true. This is very true. People tend to look at us very weird.
What was that? Okay.
I don't know.
We're thinking back to yesteryear. But when you go to these other conventions, I assume you've probably been scouting other conventions even before you started Haunted Screams conventions, right?
Well, I just like going to them. I think it's fun, and I think that everybody has a chance, just like I tell everybody, regardless if it's Haunted Screams or other conventions, it's your chance to be who you want to be. So you could get out there, you could dress up any way, shape, or form, and nobody judges you. Everybody's welcomed, and I like that environment. I like seeing that, and throughout the years, I've made different friends, and first it was just, hey, let me go out and be the demon that I can be. But after a while, it was, let me go and see my friends, because now I know they're going to be at certain conventions. So it became more of a family reunion.
Have you ever been to the Horror Hound convention? I think that's in Cincinnati.
I've not been to the Horror Hound.
It's supposed to be one of the biggest ones in the entire country. It's sort of like the San Diego Comic-Con, but of horror conventions.
Nice.
Horror Hound in Cincinnati.
Okay, I know that there's the Trade World. So Trans World is really big. And I've been to that one, and that's all the way down on the West Coast, and that's really fun. That's where the people that have haunted houses usually go so that they could get all their really cool ideas and their animatronics for their haunted houses.
Right.
So that's where the people would go for that one.
Do you ever get any ideas when you go to these other conventions to maybe incorporate into your convention or future conventions, sort of like the knife fight and the makeup contest and some of the unique things that are...
Honestly, I wouldn't say that I do. The knife fighting competition thing, that's sprouted out of a dear friend of mine named Dave. He used to do knife fighting all the time, and he did these competitions in the martial art world, and I thought it would really be cool to integrate that. And then, the whole makeup competition, everybody does the makeup competition, but I think that what really strived us to do it was the TV show Face Off.
Yes.
We saw Face Off, loved the whole thing, and we wanted to do it something local that the celebrities would judge, and that way, it could feature the different people that we have locally that, haven't gotten onto the show, because the show is like United States wide, and they only get like 10 people to do it. So this way, it's like we could actually feature more people around the area.
I've seen some of the finalists in some of your contests. Some of these people are extremely talented.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
I am very fascinated with a lot of the people and a lot of things that come out of it. It's just it's remarkable seeing how they transform people like you into people like me, just right in front of everybody's eyes.
And I think I was looking through the rules on that, and it's something about they have to bring their own makeup, accessories, and supplies. One model per makeup contestant. Judges look a lot for creativity, unusual materials.
Correct.
Yeah. And based on the following criteria: reflection of theme, design, hair, wardrobe, application technique, and overall presentation. So that's
Yeah.
and you don't call yours Face Off. You call yours
Monsters On.
Monsters On. You see what he did there? Monsters On. That's cool. Okay, let's see. The convention. That's mainly what we're here to talk about. It's coming up September
16th and 17th.
16th and 17th. That's a Saturday and a Sunday. And let's see, you're going to have a pop-up haunted house. Now, what's really cool is I have been fortunate enough to go to your convention every year that you've had it. And I'm not a diehard horror fan, as you can tell.
What? That's insane.
I mean, I just happened to stumble upon, maybe it was on social media of some kind, and I discovered you in 2019. I went just as a regular. I happened that year also to buy a very expensive Freddy mask, and I had the sweater, and I went ahead and entered the costume contest. I placed third. I won third place, and I got to go to the VIP party, which I was unable to attend that first year because I had to DJ that night. But I've gone every year, so it's always better if you're being interviewed by somebody that intimately knows about the convention, and I feel that I do.
Okay, great.
I know every little nook and cranny of this convention, so that's why I've compiled some questions to really explore what it's all about. Oh, and I'll just throw a random fact out there. I did a little research too. Laitram, spelled backwards,
Yes.
is Marshall.
And my full name is actually Laitram Tsol. And if you put it into a mirror, yes, because, in the demon world, we like to play tricks on people. So if you look into it in a mirror, it spells out Lost Marshal.
Lost Marshal.
Yes.
And is this sort of like the marshal that's like the assistant to the deputy, or is this like a marshal is in martial arts?
Oh, well,
What do you think?
That depends on how you look at it, I guess,
Yeah. Okay. I do understand that you have a secret love for the martial arts, so we'll talk about that another time. But this pop-up haunted house is just amazing. There's so much work, and you also put that you're looking for volunteers. Are you still looking for volunteers?
Actually, fascinating enough, we actually put it out there that we needed volunteers, and within 12 hours, we were already filled up.
Is that right?
So, I mean, I'm really excited that people love, Haunted Screams enough that they want to help out, and we were able to seize that many volunteers right off the bat.
That's great. And it's really cool because you usually have an adult walk-through haunted house and a kids version, right?
Yes,
Kid-friendly. And you kind of have to walk through this haunted house. We don't have to, but it's set up, designed that way to actually get to the convention. So you walk through this thrills of a haunted house, and then boom, you're right there on the convention floor, right?
Yeah, it's a way of, telling everybody that you had to earn your way to shop.
Yeah. And it's honestly, the adult one is a little bit scary. I've seen groups of girls go in there and they're like holding on to each other because they don't know what's going to happen. And it's pretty elaborate. It's pretty cool. Haunted house. Oh, and an escape room. You're having an escape room this year?
Yes. It's the Munsters themed escape room. So if you're a fan of the Munsters and you like the TV show and you even like the movie, the actual escape room is all Munsters themed, and it was created by Butch, who was the original Eddie Munster. So, his input and everything and the way he made it was just beautiful.
And he was there last year, right?
He was.
And will he be there this year?
Not this year.
Okay. And will the Dragula be there?
Yes, it will.
Oh, nice. I did not know the Dragula, the actual Dragula. Okay. And then you're also going to have Mad Max cars.
Right. We'll have the Mad Max vehicles there. We're also going to have the Ecto 1.
Oh, you are?
We're also going to have the Jeepers Creepers truck.
Yes.
And the whole thing about bringing back the Jeepers Creepers truck, we're bringing something in that we'll talk about a little further in the interview.
I'm gonna give you one little piece of advice, because I remember this from last year when you guys were doing the panel. You remember this when you were doing the panel and the celebrities were being interviewed and answering questions. That freaking Jeepers Creepers truck's horn. You got to have them maybe not do that during the interview, because it was so jarring and distracting. But it was a lot of fun. So the Jeepers Creepers, and I think the actual Jeepers Creepers guy is going to be there this year, right?
Yes. Jonathan Buck is going to be there. We're so excited to have him come in, because this is the gentleman that actually played the Creeper himself.
Yes.
So we're going to have the truck on one side right here, and right next to it is his booth, so that you can meet him and get pictures with him and the truck all at once.
Yeah, that's cool. Let's see. I wanted to ask you real quick. I know you've told this story before on other podcasts, but we were talking about favorite horror movies that we've seen and first horror movies that we've seen.
Right.
And you were telling the story of you were so insistent upon wanting to go see a horror movie, and your parents drug you to see Alien?
Yes, well, what happened was, when I was a wee one, I kept on talking about R-rated movies, because everybody was talking about them, and I didn't know what they were, and I was like, I want to see an R-rated movie. So my dad had it in his mind, well, let's just scare the bejesus out of him, and let's get this out of the way so he doesn't ask about R-rated movies anymore. So they brought me to see Alien, the first one.
The first one.
And I was like, okay, fine, I'll watch this, I'll sit down. And as I was watching, I was, and I couldn't get my mind off of it. And then later on, after it was over with, I ran into my dad's room, and I got all these glow sticks, and I started breaking them all apart. And my dad was like, oh, the poor boy, he's scared out of his wits now, and he doesn't want to be in the dark. But I went around, and I turned out all the lights in the house, and I started throwing glow sticks everywhere that I could find, down in hallways, in each room. And, my mom was like, what's wrong? And I had my blanket with me, and she's like, are you scared? I said, no, I'm not scared. I want one. And you see, the monsters don't come out unless it's dark. And I saw that in the movie, so I had to make sure it was really dark in everywhere. And then once it was dark, I threw glow sticks so I could see, and if the monster was coming out and I saw these aliens, I could catch them with my blanket, wrap them up, and keep them as a pet. But,
you saw the movie. You understand what these things turn into. How in the world... Well, I guess you just weren't...
I wanted one as a pet.
Wanted one as a pet.
I mean, people get all kinds of pets all the time, so what's the difference? You just got to feed it.
You got to feed it humans.
Well,
I wanted to tell real quick, because last year you had David Naughton at the convention, who played David from American Werewolf in London. And I told him this story, too. When I was a little kid, back in 1981, my dad drugged me to see, I kind of wanted to go, American Werewolf in London. In 81, I was like maybe 9, 10 years old.
Right.
And I loved it. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. And when I went home, I drew, I don't know if you remember the bar scene where they had the pentagram and the 2 candles on each side. So I did that. I had some poster board or something, and I drew a big pentagram and I drew candles, not knowing what any of this meant. And I thought that it would allow me, if I put it above my bed, it would allow me to turn into a werewolf because I thought it was really cool at the time. I didn't realize it was actually designed to ward off werewolves.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, it kind of worked backwards for you there, and that's where you messed up.
So you're wanting to catch aliens. I'm wanting to turn into bloodthirsty werewolves. We were just twisted from the beginning. Oh, man. Speaking of horror movies, America loves horror movies, and that's why conventions like yours are taking off like crazy. What do you attribute the fascination and the love of horror movies to with people? Why are they so popular?
Well, I think that everybody likes the bizarre and the supernatural, and I think that, everybody likes to dabble and see the dark side, but not actually go completely into it. So I think that, that clinching fear of actually going through a haunted house and getting scared but knowing it's still safe is something that people want to dance with, and it's like same thing with you go seeing a movie. When it's a horror movie, they're just fascinated with everything that's going on and getting that rush and that fear generated inside your body, and it's just right there. And I think that's why horror is really taking off. And Halloween, from the jump, when you are a child, you learn that Halloween doesn't have to be scary. It's the one time a year you could dress up as anything as you want, and everybody's like, oh, okay, yes, you're them, And so I think that's why it's growing on people,
Yeah. I have this. It's kind of difficult. I have this one friend of mine, and whenever we watch a horror movie, and I don't care how scary something jumps at you or how gory it is, his response, and I attribute this to him being nervous, is laughter. Extreme laughter.
Oh, I've seen those people.
And that sort of, if I'm sitting right beside him, it sort of makes it not as scary for me. I'm like, why is somebody just getting beheaded funny to you? I don't get that. But are there, well, I'll tell you a couple of mine, and then I'll ask you a few. Are there any movies or particular scenes in movies or any horror shows that still, to this day, maybe from a childhood drama or whatever, that still sort of scare you? But let me tell you mine real quick. In the movie Jaws, when Hooper goes down, they see Ben Gardner's old boat. You really have to know Jaws to get these references.
Yeah.
And he's looking, he finds a tooth, a shark tooth, and then he goes down, and then Ben Gardner pops up out of nowhere. And it's this horrible, scary music they play, and this rotted-looking thing that's been underwater for God knows how long. To this day, I sort of kind of either look away or go like that, It's kind of silly. And then also the theme song from Tales from the Dark Side. Do you remember that?
Yes.
I don't know why, but that still scares me a little bit today. It makes me a little uneasy. And then there's this one episode, and this is my last one, and I'll go to you, the Twilight Zone. The old Twilight Zones still sort of scare me, and I think it all stems from this one particular episode that to this day still terrifies me. It's the one where the guy goes to visit his girlfriend. She's having plastic surgery. Her face is all wrapped up in bandages. They show her face all wrapped. They don't show any of the doctors' or nurses' faces. They're sort of obscured in the shadows. And they undo all the bandages, and then you can see this woman is, the doctor's like, oh no, the surgery was a failure. She's still hideous. And she goes and looks in the mirror, and she's beautiful. She is an absolutely beautiful, like Marilyn Monroe type. And then, all of a sudden, they show the doctor. I'm getting goosebumps right now telling this story. I swear to God, I'm getting goosebumps. They show all the doctors and nurses, and they're horribly deformed. They have these pig faces, and to them, that was the standard of beauty in that Twilight Zone world. So that particular episode of Twilight Zone still messes with me bad. But do you have any things like that?
I mean, honestly, it's more of a love thing with me. It's because, I think that modern one, I was more scared and terrified of, the creeper when they actually showed him throwing the bodies down the tube.
That was creepy.
And you're just looking at it going, okay, what is up with this guy? That is crazy. And then later on, he showed his wings, and he's a demon-looking thing. And I was like, oh, okay, cool, he's one of me. It's fine. But the initial movement of them driving by, and this guy's just throwing these things, that's kind of creepy to me. And it's just like, whoa, that could actually happen in this world.
Yeah.
And people want to know it. So it's those kind of things, or when you, like you said with Jaws, you're literally staring at the water and it's nighttime and you're just like, oof.
Yeah.
You know it's down there, and you know it's real, and you're just like, okay, back up. Let's not go there. But, it's one of those things that just freaks you out.
Yeah.
I was really big into the horror industry, obviously, and I don't really think that any of them really freaked me out to where it was something that's constantly there. I know that if I go into the woods and I'm with a bunch of friends, and then it's like I'm alone and I'm just looking around, and then I start freaking out. I'm like, okay, I need to go back before I hear that shh, 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 shh. Because once I hear that, game over, I'm running away.
And then there's the real horror of bears.
Oh, yes.
Bears are basically North Americans' version of the lion. We don't have to worry about lions here in America, although there are quite a few as kept as pets in Texas. But bears are something that I am very wary of.
Oh, yes, just like cocaine bear. I mean, that's
God. Cocaine shark they have now. You heard about that?
Oh, yes. I was just reading about that the other day. I was like, wow. And, after this, I'm going to...
there's going to be a movie. There's got to be a movie.
Well, they're already talking about it right now. I know that Shark Week is going to be pushing it out as Cocaine Shark.
Laitram is already in touch with one of the sharks who may possibly appear at a future convention. So just be prepared for that. There was one more scene I want to mention real quick, and then we'll move on. In the movie The Shining.
Yes.
I saw that when I was maybe 17, and I had a blanket. I was by myself, and I was just covered up the whole time. And one of the scenes is very odd. It wasn't necessarily scary, but it was just so odd and out of place, it freaked me out. At the end of the movie, when Shelley Duvall's running, just trying to get away from Jack, and she's running through the hotel, and they're showing all these horrific scenes. They show a butler, and I think it's a butler and a guy in like a bear suit. You remember that?
I do.
And it was just so odd and out of place, and like this movie is just so twisted and weird, and just maybe a peek into Jack Torrance's head or whatever vision she was seeing, just the ghost of that hotel. But that was another one of my, The Shining, The Exorcist. I mean, there are some top tier horror movies out there.
And those are classic ones that used a lot of realistic, special effects versus the things that you could do digitally, and like the whole entire elevator scene where it was upside down, and then they poured the blood all throughout that was so beautiful, and then they flipped it up to make it look like it was on the ceiling, and they came out. That you just can't grist that.
Like the movie The Thing that came out in '83 or something. I thought it was so much better because it didn't have any of the digital effects, weren't even invented back then. You compare that to the newer version of The Thing, and it didn't do very well.
No.
The original Thing was great. So talking about some of the vendors that are going to be at this convention, now it's not strictly horror, it's predominantly horror, but there's going to be some, let's see, where they have the rocks and crystals. Let me tell you, if you're into rocks and crystals, I remember last year there was this table, probably 40 feet long, and it had the most exquisite variety of rocks and crystal stuff you couldn't find anywhere, one-of-a-kind pieces. And the people that run these tables are so friendly, so nice. They'll let you pick them up and check them out. Rocks and will there be palm or tarot card readings?
Yes,
there will.
There will be.
Okay.
There will be.
Just like one table set up for that?
I think we have two.
Okay.
I think we have two.
Nice. Hard to find DVDs, masks, Funko Pops, action figures, all kinds of unique art. They have fake skulls, or at least they say they're fake.
We're not allowed to disclose that at this time.
But I do think that one year you had somebody with like little animal skulls, like crows and foxes, and they put them in jars and unique little nature scenes. It's really cool. Candles, props, replicas, T-shirt, a lot of hard to find stuff. Is the Maximum Overdrive guy going to be there this year?
No, not this year.
He was there last year. That was a lot of fun. Okay, and then the big stage set up for the panels, Q&A with the celebrity guest. How's that going to work? Will the audience be able to ask?
Yeah, it's going to be the same thing. So what we do is in the middle of the convention center, we actually set up the stage. We have the Q&A panels. We have, all kinds of different things with like the celebrities. They'll come up there. And we have the audience that sits down below. And one at a time, they can ask the questions for, that they want to know the answers to on their favorite horror person. And they'll answer the questions that way. We'll also have different discussions, like we have the pet stores coming out there, which is one of our pet people, the Paradise. Pet Paradise is going to come there, and they're going to be talking about the different reptiles and upkeep and all that. And we have just so many different people that really fine-tune different specialties, and I think that everybody should definitely take advantage and sit down and see what it's all about.
And I would encourage people who are watching this that are maybe thinking about going to this expo, and there's maybe their favorite star is going to be there. Think hard about a unique question to ask them. Because they're there, they're open books, and they'll ask pretty much anything you ask them. So that's something to be thinking about. All of the guests that you've had have been very friendly and hospitable. They'll be doing autographs, selfies. They have tons of little different 8x10s that they'll be selling to autograph. I have a funny story. I think it was the year before last. You had Ken Sagos, the guy who autographed that Nightmare on Elm Street glove for me.
Yes.
He was there, and after the convention, when I was loading up, I'm the DJ at the convention, by the way. I'll be spinning tunes for the event and for the VIP after party, which we'll talk about shortly. But as I was loading up my truck and about ready to head out, Ken, started walking out, and he thought that I was like his driver. I don't know, it's like an Uber. I don't know what but I mean, I had the opportunity to kidnap the one and only Ken Sagos from Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3. So that was kind of cool.
That would have been awful.
Yeah, but they're so friendly. The one guy you had the one year from The Hills Have Eyes, what's that dude's name? I can't think.
Michael Berryman.
That's it, Michael Berryman. He was great. So many stories. He was coming up to me in the DJ booth telling me stories. So they're just super friendly, very approachable. It's not like he has, like Matthew McConaughey or any of these people that have very strict rules. I mean, you can just come up and chit chat with these people. They're super great. Oh, and we'll talk about the VIP party shortly. There's a question out here. Are any of the celebrities that you've had to deal with in the past have any of them had crazy, silly demands like green M&Ms, or any of them prima donnas, or are they all pretty easy to work with?
No. Everybody that has come to Haunted Screams Expo has just been really cool, really down to earth, very nice to work with. Yeah. And that's the other thing is that you tend to watch people and see them on different podcasts, and you get to see them behind the scenes, and you watch how their personality are, and that's the ones that you want to pick and choose.
Yeah.
That way you know what you're getting yourself into.
Right. Now, just going back, I see in my notes here real quick, this knife fight. Can you just clarify to people that this is not a real knife fight? No, it's... Right. Well, I don't think we have to. How many lawsuits we would have if that was?
Okay, so basically, here it is. What the knife fight is we give people these knives, and what they do is when you touch them, they light up and they make a noise, and it's basically like a game of touch and go, like tag. So when you tag somebody with a knife, it makes that noise. We stop it. They get awarded a point, and from that point, then the first person to get 3 consecutive points is the winner, and then we make them go on one side, and the second runner-up goes on the other side, and it's eliminated until we have 1, 2, 3, and 4th place. And that way everybody wins, everybody has a good time. But where else can you go to actually see Michael Myers going at it with Freddy Krueger? Or, Jason Voorhees taking out Ghostface. It's a beautiful concept, and we love it.
It is true. Are you going to be the referee for the...
Yes, usually I am.
Usually are, yeah. Okay, monster contest. I think I pretty much asked you about all that. Does the is the winner of the makeup contest and the costume contest, is that based on the audience's applause, or is it strictly on the judges? Or a combination, maybe?
I think it's a combination. Okay. And the reason why is the overall, it's definitely going to be the judges, because the judges are looking at certain things on the curriculum. But at the same time, if the audience really likes them, it does help sway the judges a little bit, because they're like, oh, well, if the audience really likes them,
right,
let's figure out why they voted for this one versus this one. And then, it helps that person get a little more gain in the way things go. So bring lots of friends to vote for you. I mean, that's really what it boils down to.
There's a kids' costume costume contest and an adult.
That
right?
is. There's the kid one, and then there's the adult one. We give out the trophies for everybody, and little prizes and everything. We got something special for the kids this year that I can't disclose. But if you're going to bring your child out, and remember, children 12 and under are absolutely free.
Oh, nice.
So
I did not know that.
if they want to come out and they want to get dressed up and they want to do the contest, they could win first, second, third, fourth place trophies, as well as something that's going to be really unique for the first place trophy. So I'm not going to say what it is, but it's going to be fun. I can't wait.
Nice. That's cool. Will there be food or beverages available for sale at the convention?
Yes, there always is, because that's why we go to a convention hall, because they have the concession stands in the back, and the little tables and everything set up for everybody. And there's usually different types of foods and drinks, sodas, waters, all kinds of different stuff. And this year we're adding something else just for the adults, because a lot of the adults were like, oh, it's fun, but I need something to loosen me up. So we've added a beer garden this year.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Nice.
So Traditional Brewery is going to make us a specific new beer just for the event. Everybody can come out. You guys can drink, be merry, stay inside the beer area. But, that way you could be a little loosey-goosey running around with all the crazy stuff.
Tradition Brewery's local.
Yes.
Right here in good old Hampton Roads. Moving on to the VIP party. Again, I DJ'd the VIP party last year, and let me tell you, it is fun. It is really fun. You pay extra for the VIP experience, but it is well worth it. You have little gift bags that you give people, and they also have like a sort of a little buffet set up, unlimited food. There's a cash bar there. I'm pretty sure they had beer and wine. Yeah, maybe, I don't remember if it was liquor.
Yeah, there was liquor.
Liquor too?
I don't know what's going on this year, because we're trying to work that out, but I know there will be alcohol. But right now, we're trying to figure what's going on with the convention hall, because they just switched over to a new person for the ABC. So we're working out the details. But either way, we're going to have so much fun.
But one of the coolest things about the VIP party is that the celebrities, a lot of the celebrities go to this.
Yes.
And they dance and they rub shoulders and they tell stories and they take pictures. So that's reason enough for me. Well, we had the guy last year from Leprechaun.
Yes, he was. Lyndon was there. He was so amazing. Lyndon actually, he was the Leprechaun in the new Leprechaun, and he also was Chucky as the body double for Chucky, and he was just double fisting it, having a good time. And I was like,
and he had some dance moves.
Oh,
too.
he did. He was definitely one of the favorites. Him and Bonnie Morgan were just dancing. And
Bendy Bonnie and her dad. There.
If you don't know who Bonnie is, she is the actress that was the person that did Samara, The Ring. She crawled through the TV at people.
Yes.
So, I mean, it was just so cool to see them dancing and interacting with everybody and having a good time.
She is so bubbly and energetic and fun.
Oh, yes,
You got to try to get her back again.
We will. I got big plans in the future. That's all I think about is what's the next step? What's the next step? What's going on?
Yeah.
So.
And then also Daniel, the guy who played Grandpa Munster in
Daniel Roebuck. Yeah,
he was there hanging out. Yeah, so that was really fun. And plus, the music and the lights and the dancing. There was balloons everywhere. They decorated up. I mean, it's really enjoyable. So I highly recommend that you partake in the VIP experience, which I assume tickets are still available for that. Let's see. Halloween Daily News will be there.
Yes,
they're sort of a big name in the horror.
World. They come every year, and they go interviewing people, and
they covered extensively. Yeah, and they put out great videos afterwards too of the interviews and everything. So that'll be good to have them there. Let's see. Bendy Bonnie, Michael Berryman. That was who we were thinking about earlier. David Howard Thornton was there. Was it last year?
2 years ago.
And I was there, and I had not yet seen the Terrifier movies, and I did not realize it's like one of my new favorite horror movies now.
Yes.
Oh my God! If you haven't seen Terrifier, please. Part 1 is amazing. Part 2 is even better. They're coming out with a part 3.
They are working on a third one, and if you are a fan, and if you can find it, David Howard Thornton, he's such a good guy.
Yeah.
And I really. I connect with a lot of the celebrities that we have, and one of the things that he's done recently, and myself, I have not found it yet, but I'm still looking for it, and when I find it, I'm going to buy it. He did a hoarder version of The Grinch The Grinch Who Stole Christmas, and it's called The Mean One.
I think I've heard of that.
Yeah.
I may have seen bits and pieces of it on YouTube.
So I'm trying to find the full movie so I could sit down and watch it. But yes, it's called The Mean One, and he did that one. So
Yes.
yeah, that's
I didn't know
definitely-
he was in that.
Yeah, he's the Grinch, or
God.
the Mean One.
Yeah, right, because,
Right.
Sure, you can't call it that. But, man, that's such a good movie. And if I'd have known he was there, I'd have been like a fanboy over him, I didn't realize at the time what a great movie that is. Let's see. I told you about Ken Sago. Oh, Dr. Fang and the Dark Tone.
Yes.
They're going to be there again this year. They're always a crowd favorite. They're going to be performing.
And, what's going to happen is they're going to be there, and they're probably going to do like a little acoustic thing up on stage like they did before. But after the VIP party's over with, we're going to have more things to do, because people were telling me that it's a great show, but it seems to wind down right at 6-7 o'clock, and then there's nothing else to do. So I was like, challenge accepted. So what we've done is we've added some stuff. We've got the VIP party going on, which is going to start off with a little comedy show with one of our VIP guys, and then the dance party, and then after that, going across the hall, we're going to have the Rocky Horror Picture Show live.
Right.
And then after that, we're going to have a concert, with Mr. Fang and the Dark Tones.
Yeah. Now, what is that comedian's name?
Yes, well, we haven't really disclosed that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
It's coming soon, so he's one of our celebrities, and when we bring them up, I'll point that out for you.
And then the Rocky Horror Picture Show. This is no backyard production. These are people from the Narrow, right?
Yes.
I mean, that's one of the most pro performances you can get right there. And they're going to be performing in a separate area from the convention later that night, or
everything's in the convention, so it's just easy for everybody to find.
Gotcha.
So the VIP room is technically going to be right here, and then across the hall, right here, is the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's see. And will I don't know why I have this written down here, but
That's okay.
if you volunteer. If you are one of the volunteers, does that gain you entry into the convention?
Of course.
Okay, so
of course.
there you go.
I mean, if you're going to give me your time, I'm going to give you my time.
Right.
That's just the way it works.
All right. And is there anything else you wanted to talk about concerning the VIP party or anything? Because the next thing I want to move on to is this upcoming preview party at the brewery.
I think that people are still confused about what pertains to the VIP thing, and if you get a VIP thing, you're going to get a little goodie bag, and it's got lots of little cool stuff inside of it. You get a wristband, and that wristband gives you the ability to skip the lines to meet the celebrities, so that is worth it, because some of these conventions I've gone to, literally you're waiting 2 to 6 hours for an autograph. Well, there's so much to see at conventions, so you might want to get in and out, meet them, and continue on so you can do all the things that we have. So I think the skip line, the hour early entry, I think those things are worth it. And then, of course, the VIP party itself, and it gets you access to all that stuff at night. So it does help out a lot.
And you don't have to worry about standing in a line for an hour to meet any of these celebrities. They're very accessible, and they're available pretty much all day. I mean, they take little breaks. They're humans just like we are. But it's really, you're going to get time to definitely have FaceTime with them, a little chit chat. It's not like move along. We got there's 1,000 people in line behind you. It's not like that. It's intimate, and it's a lot more accessible. So that's cool.
And this year we added the photo ops. So we're going to have photo ops in some of our celebrities, and as we talk about them, they will be dressed up in their actual outfits from the movies, and you could do photo ops with them so that you could get your photo op. Basically, the way it works is you could get the regular picture, and if you wanted to upscale it, the people that are doing it are offering it on mugs, T-shirts, all kinds of stuff. So it's really fun.
Yeah, do we want to talk about some of the guests that are going to be there?
Sure.
I don't want you to have to try to pull these papers apart because you got those special demonic gloves there, and I don't know what that's all about. But let's talk about that guy. That is Jonathan Breck. Tell us a little about him.
Well, as you can see, Jonathan right here, this is his real face. And then when he's dressed up so that he can fit into the world, this is what he looks like. But he is he's the man, the legend behind Jeepers Creeper. He is the Creeper. He was in 1, 2, and 3, the only movies that existed, according to me. So, and he did such a good job. And he's such a really friendly guy, loves loves the people, so that's why we're bringing him. And at the same time, as I said, the truck's going to be there. So, having the truck, having the creeper.
That truck is a
Two
sight
in
to
one.
behold.
It's beautiful. Yep.
And now, will he be in costume?
No, he is not one of the people that are going to be in costume.
Okay.
Sorry.
No. All right, and then who is this lovely creature?
Okay, so this is Darcy DeMoss. Okay, so Darcy has been in a lot of different movies. The reason that we brought her in is, of course, because she was in Jason Lives. Such a beautiful character. Everybody loves her. She's got a good fan following and, a really down-to-earth woman. She loves talking about things, So if that's something that you're into, if you would like to meet one of the stars from Jason, by all means. And she had such a brutal death in that, She was the one that literally got her head smashed into the RV, So sad. But as you can see, she came out just fine, so everything's good.
Let's see. Then this guy, and another Friday the 13th guy. Now,
Tom Fredley, yes.
Same movie.
Same
Jason
movie, yes.
Jason
So
Lives.
I got 3 from this movie. So Tom Fredley is another one, and he was also in so many different movies. If you're not a horror fan and you like other movies, there's an 80s movie about rebellion and everything called The Iron Eagle. He was in that.
Was that Louis Gossett Jr.?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah,
and then he was also in Karate Kid. He was the best friend of Ralph Macchio.
Which Karate Kid?
The first one. Do you remember when he first came, when the Karate Kid kicked
At
the door
apartment complex.
and he got knocked back, and then he invited him to come to the beach? That was him.
I didn't know that.
That was his best friend. But then after the beach incident, he just never showed up again. So I guess he really wasn't that good.
Yeah, wasn't that good of a friend. I am a Karate Kid.
So there you go.
Super fan. So I would love to see him just for that. Wow. Okay. And then our last Jason Lives.
Yes. So we got Jason coming. A big, strong, broody guy that doesn't talk. But then you take his mask off and he talks a lot. Really nice guy. His name was C.J. Grams. C.J. is a really cool guy. He was the first one to actually be in the full-fledged costume of Jason that moved around and walked, and everything went back cut to him. So it was really cool. And he also did I think it was Friday the 13th, Part 7, all the water scenes was actually him.
Oh, okay. I remember 7. 6 is the one. That's what he was in. 6. Jason Lives. Is that part 6?
I think it's 5.
Oh, is it? Does it
I can't
have
remember.
the one with the paintball scene?
Yes.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yes, because he ripped off the guy's arm, had the arm and the machete, and he was killing people with that. I was like, what?
I remember that.
Okay, so somebody needed to lend him a hand.
Let's see. This guy.
Yes. Alec Gills. So Alec Gills, I'm very excited about. And I am really big about the people that create things and bring things to life. And he is one of them. So he is the guy behind the whole puppeteering and the creation of, the Pumpkinhead with Stan Winston. And he also did Aliens. He created the Queen Alien.
Oh,
he did Jurassic Park. He worked on all the actual dinosaurs for people to meet. He created everything from the Tremors movies, all the monsters in Tremors. That was him. Let me think.
Let's see, Predator.
Yeah, he did Predator.
Pennywise.
He created the new Pennywise. Everybody got that a little mixed up. But he actually created the look of the new Pennywise and brought that to life.
So amazing.
He also did, as you can...
Is that Jason in the middle there?
He worked on Jason.
Yeah.
He did work on Jason, and he worked on Starship Troopers, all the monsters from Starship Troopers he did. Yeah. He worked on King Kong versus Godzilla.
The new one?
The new one, yes.
Wow.
I mean, this guy is amazing.
What a resume.
And, so if you get a chance to meet him, if you're a special effects artist, if you want to break into that, if you love building things on your own, this is the guy to talk to.
He should be one of the judges in the Monster.
He is.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
that makes sense.
Yes.
Okay. And then Nick King. Tell us a little bit about Nick.
So Nick King, this is him. All right. So Nick King was actually in the movies, the Sinister movies.
Sinister movies, yes.
So he was I always mess this up. The Boogaloo Man? I think that's how you say it. Boogaloo.
I don't remember.
Anyway, but he was him, the man, the legend right here. So he's actually coming out, and it's very rare, but he's actually going to be bringing his suit so that people could get a photo op with the Sinister himself.
Wow.
Along with Jason Voorhees is going to bring his costume out too.
Really?
So that's 2 of the 4 that we're going to have fully dressed up, ready to go with photo ops.
That is cool.
Yes, I'm so excited about it.
Let's see here. Poncho.
Yes, Pancho. So Pancho he's a really cool guy. One thing that people don't know about him is he's been in several movies. The bigger ones that he's been in is 31. Rob Zombie movies. Right. He's also been in a couple other Rob Zombie movies, but he's also a skateboarder, and he's a comedian. So he's the stand-up comedian that will be doing the show. So if you get the VIP tickets, you can see him do his little routine, and it's really cool to have him coming out there.
Nice. That's very cool. I had no idea he was a comedian too.
Yes. It's so cool to have these people,
And I think he was there last year, wasn't it?
2 years ago.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah, and since we're on the whole thing of Rob Zombie, House of a Thousand Corpses is coming out, and this gentleman right here is going to be coming out, and he played Rufus. So this is Robert Mukes. Robert Mukes came out to Haunted Screams like 2 years ago, so he's coming back. And people always say bring back celebrities. I have no problem bringing them back, but I want some time period to go before. That way they're not going one right after the next.
Sure.
And that way, it gives a little bit of time, and people are more excited about them coming back.
He is a gentle giant.
He's
extremely tall, but he just wants to hug everybody.
He is 7 foot tall.
Yeah.
Well, technically 6 foot 12 inches, but it works.
Yeah. All right, let's see. Oh, I see another Jason there.
Yep. Amanda Khan, she's going to be coming out. And, I love her as an actress. She's been in so many different really cool movies, So the one that I brought her in, we'll talk about that one, is the Jason movie. So this is the new remake.
Oh, okay.
And the scene, she got the most brutal death, in my opinion, because it's like, he took her and he hit her she was inside the sleeping bag, knocked her around, and then tied her up and burnt her alive. So she got a brutal, time to die.
That shouldn't affect you too much. That's an everyday occurrence where you come from, right?
Oh yeah, but it's like cooking a barbecue. We don't need skewers. We just turn the thing in our hands.
Oh man. And then we get old Kyle.
Yes. So Kyle here.
Kyle Strauss.
He actually played the Predator in a couple movies, but the latest one that he did was The Prey on Hulu. So if you want to meet the guy behind the mask, this is him. Really nice guy. I've talked to him a couple times now online, just checking up on him. So he played that, and he also was in the Predators, the Alien vs. Predator and the Predator. Okay. So he's had the opportunity to work in the Predator film line for quite a bit. So if you have any Predator questions, definitely the man to talk to.
In one of our earlier podcasts, I teach my co-host how to do the Predator noise. Did you see that?
Yes. Can you do it?
I can.
Let me hear this.
All you do is Pretty Woman is the analogy. I teach everybody how to do this. Everybody knows the song Pretty Woman, Roy Orbison. What's the noise he makes in the song?
I got
right?
Okay.
Pretty woman walking. Okay, all you got to do is you make the noise, but you disengage your vocal cords. You don't let any noise come out. You do it silently, so it's like, and that's Predator.
Wow.
There you go. I'll be available for selfies and autographs myself.
There you go. There you go.
There and, I will do a Predator impersonation for you.
Voiceover, it's right there.
Okay. Speaking of Predator, I absolutely loved the first Predator. I remember I saw it. I was a teenager. I saw it in the theaters. So good. Predator 2 was okay. It had Danny Glover and Gary Busey in it, and it was people accepted that. Then they started getting a little shaky. But let me tell you something about Prey. Predator's back. Okay. Prey is an amazing movie. It got rated really good on Rotten Tomatoes, and whatever magic they captured in the first Predator, it's back. And this is the guy who is the main, not the protagonist. The protagonist is usually the good guy, right?
He's the Predator.
Yeah, he's the Predator.
So I mean, he's.
But it is it was so well made. The cinematography, the story, the acting. So what a treat for that person, Kyle, to be here. And this looks like the guy from Breaking Bad, right, Walt?
No, this is Lee. Lee. So Lee is actually the original Ghostface.
Lee Waddell.
Yeah, he played Ghostface in 1 and 2.
Okay.
So Scream 1 and 2, he was the man behind the mask doing all the scary stuff before they just took it off and Scooby-Dooed the whole thing.
Yeah.
But he's the guy that actually did it all.
Okay.
So yeah, we're really excited about having him, and he is going to be coming in costume. So we could actually get people to take photo ops with him.
And you can bring your Scream mask and
he'll
probably
sign it.
autograph it for
Yeah,
you.
of course.
That'd
He
be
loves
cool.
he loves his fans so much.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Definitely
cool.
can't forget that one.
All right. And then Brett.
Yes, Brett. So here we go again. This is another gentleman that will be in costume. So
Man.
Brett, he played inside the Leatherface, inside the new remake movie, the 2008. I can't say the new remake because they just came out with one again.
Right.
But he did an amazing job. He was also in The Crazies. So, he's been in a lot of cool movies. Really nice guy, loves fans.
Is that the Crazies on?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And he's going to, what he does for the fans is he actually brings sledgehammers and he signs them and he sells those at his booth as well. So if you want to get a sledgehammer, a prop sledgehammer, but it's got like guts and everything on it,
Yeah.
it's pretty cool looking. He'll be selling them, and he also brings a couple masks that he's worn for sale.
Really? Wow. Now, would a goer to the event, would they be allowed to bring a real chainsaw in and have him sign it?
As long as it doesn't have the blade, I'm fine
Right,
with that.
right,
Because
okay.
I don't want people to run around.
Right.
And then it become
And
alive.
don't
for
fire
the
it up.
movie.
Don't even start it up.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that.
That's cool. Yeah, I think it's really neat that these guys some of these people are dressing up and in their costumes because, some of these are screen worn. It's not like going to Spirit of Halloween and getting their version of, nothing against Spirit. I love Spirit, but I mean, this is it. So when you show people, hey, here's a picture of me with Brett, and you can have him out of costume, and here's another picture of me, and this is who he is in the movie. And it's like you are standing next to actual Leatherface. So I just think that's amazing. And then I saved one of the best ones for last here, Walter.
Okay, yes, Walter. So again, we talked about, how we have Robert Mukes coming because he's a star of the House of a Thousand Corpses. So everybody's been asking me about that ever since I had him the first year, and I worked really hard in finding the Doctor himself. So Dr. Satan is coming this year.
Dr. Satan!
He's coming this year to Haunted Screams Expo just for you guys. So take the
awesome.
opportunity to meet him. He's truly an amazing guy, and he's a good doctor. He'll prescribe lots of things.
There's a scene, look it up on YouTube, of the missing Dr. Satan scene. And it has the girl from, the girl in the Mandalorian with the big blue things in it. She's in this scene with Dr. Satan, and it's brutal. It's violent. They kept it out of the movie. Maybe if you buy it on DVD, they've included the scene, but it's all about Dr. Satan in the hospital, and it's fantastic. So anyway, so that's your celebrity panel, and you'll be there shaking hands and
Of course,
doing
of course.
selfies and stuff with people. All right, you want to talk a little bit about the preview party at
Of
Tradition
course,
Brewery?
yay.
Yes.
Yes, so something is new. Everybody, one thing that I find is that people get sad because Haunted Screams is once a year. And they were like, is there a way we could do some sort of little preview thing to give us a sneak preview? And I was talking to some friends of mine at Traditional Brewery, and they brought it up to my attention. I brought it up to their attention, and we're going to do it. So if you want to see a little preview party, have some fun, party with the monsters, and at the same time audition to be a scarer at Haunted Screams Expo, as well as Tradition Brewery for their Halloween event.
Yes.
We're taking auditions there. We're going to have a fire dancer. We're going to have the movie vehicles there. We're going to have some vendors there, and of course, it's a brewery, which means there's going to be beer.
And a DJ?
We're also having a DJ, not just any DJ.
Not just any DJ.
That's right.
Go to dgjhr.com to find out more. So your music, DJ fire spinner, dancer,
A fire dancer, yeah. They spin all kinds
Actual
of stuff.
fire?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's going to be so much fun.
And will the comedian be there, or is he just at the VIP party?
No, he's just at
Okay.
the VIP party.
A horror market.
Yes.
What's that going to entail? What kind
So
of
basically, it's it's kind of like a preview party where you can see different vendors that are going to be there. So we're bringing out a couple vendors. We're also going to be bringing out, a table with a bunch of different flyers. So if you are trying to map out the best places to go for Halloween, we're going to have a little table that shows different haunted houses that you can visit.
Okay, all right. And then Tradition Brewery is also going to be unveiling, I guess they do this every year, their seasonal brew, which is the Persnickety Witch Pumpkin Ale.
Yes.
Now, if that doesn't get your mouth watering, I mean, come on. So that'll be on there. They're having a screaming contest. I don't know if that's separate from yours, but they say that you get a drink voucher. They said this on their page. You get a drink voucher just for signing up for the Scream contest. Of course, you have to actually scream, too.
Yes.
But they're going to be looking for screamers. And, so that's the preview party, which is going to be pretty exciting. And that's happening when? Date?
It's going to be August 26th.
August 26th. That's a Saturday.
Correct.
And it's happening, that's going to happen at night.
Yes, 6 o'clock to 10 o'clock.
6 to 10.
At their brewery.
Right,
Correct.
right. That'll be fun. Okay. Let's see. And then are you still accepting vendors?
Well, we have 2 spots left, so we're almost completely sold out, and I can't say that by the time this shows that we'll actually have it sold out or not, but always ask and inquire, You
can go to hauntedscreams.com and just sort of peruse around, look at all the different links, and there's a whole page about if you want to be a vendor. And let me tell you, I have, as a DJ, I participated at wedding conventions, wedding expos and stuff, and man, it was like $800 just for a tiny little spot there. But these prices are quite reasonable. I mean,
well, thank you,
yeah,
thank you.
They really are. I mean, coming from somebody that, and then you can also be a sponsor too. Do you already have your sponsor spots filled up?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Yes, we do.
Okay, good. All right. Well, I can't think of anything else. I think we've covered this extensively, right? I mean, we've hit every little nook and cranny of this Haunted Screams convention.
Well, I hope so. And, if there's questions out there that you people in the TV world, hello TV world, would like to know more about, just tag us, ask us, and we'll be more than happy to answer those questions.
You're on Facebook, you're on Instagram.
I'm on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, we're on YouTube. We're also on TikTok, so you can find us everywhere.
Right. That's good. And plus hauntedscreams.com.
The technical website, yes.
Yeah. So that's cool. Yeah. All right. Well, I want to thank you for coming on to our show, Laitram. I'm glad we were able to cover it so extensively. And, me, myself, I'll be there. Go to, like I said before, go to ddjhr.com. And the Clover Street podcast is now available on Apple Podcast as well as Spotify and YouTube. So check this out there. And I want to thank you once again for joining us, Laitram. It's been a real pleasure.
All right. See you later.
Thank you.